Very good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue the next topic mentioned in your unit number 4, aquatic microbiology, and the topic is role of microorganism in aquatic ecosystem. And in all the previous class we have discussed various types of aquatic ecosystem and their various phases, and all these phases, the maintenance of the aquatic ecosystem in terms of all ecological balance, microorganism plays a very vital role. And the aquatic ecosystem, you are having like soil system, there are also the interaction among microorganisms, plants and animals, and mainly the nutrient recycling is the main function of this microorganism, and which is almost same like a soil ecosystem. So the microorganisms plays a very vital role which maintains the flow of nutrients in aquatic ecosystem, and mainly, as I said, nutrients means the maintenance of the food chain and food web in the aquatic ecosystem. So this is the ocean floor. There are a lot of organisms. There is the movement and transport of the nutrients from sunlight to all the tropical level, okay, and through the various phases of the ocean, and it reaches the nutrients throughout the organism that is living in the aquatic ecosystem, okay, and they will be having the physical mixing, zooplankton and phytoplankton. They will be playing a very vital role. The microorganism, they mainly plays a role as the decomposers, and they recycle the nutrients, and they transfer from one tropical level to the another tropical level. And in the case of aquatic ecosystem, like other system, it has the food chain and food web also important. And the food chain, as you all know, that is an interrelation between the organism in various tropical level, and the collection of food chains are known as food web. In the case of an aquatic ecosystem, the primary producers, they produces the energy by using the photosynthetic process, and they supply that particular, they act as the food for the primary consumers. So the primary producers are mainly phytoplankton and chemosynthetic bacteria, and the primary consumers are the zooplankton, and they will be acting as the food for the secondary as well as tertiary consumers. And finally this tertiary secondary consumers, that will be decomposed by the microorganism by assimilatory process or dissimilatory process. Finally, the fragmentation of the complex organic materials such as protein, carbohydrate and all other complex biomolecule will be mineralized into simpler form, and that will be added to the food chain and the food web by the production of so many microbial enzymes. And this is what I said actually. The energy from sun, this is the food chain. The energy from sun and the primary producers such as bacteria and photosynthetic algae, they produces energy, and they supply that particular energy to the primary consumers, okay, and the primary consumers supply the energy to the secondary consumers, little bit higher level organism, and this act as the food for the tertiary consumers, okay, and this tertiary consumers act as the food for quaternary consumers, and the larger tropical level they travel. And there are so many food chains are clumped or interconnected network in the aquatic ecosystem, that is known as the food web, okay. From the lower tropical level it will be phytoplankton, okay, dinoflagellate, diatoms, etc. And the next tropical level, this is the phytoplankton and the primary producers, and this is the primary consumers, the shrimps, okay, I mean all small other organisms, then all other organisms, the amphipod, then small fish, okay, sunfish, etc. Then squid, mackerel, all the little bit moderate fishes, okay, and tuna, then similarly lancet fishes, and this further tropical level they are reaching, okay. So this is known as the food web. And if you connect the interrelation between the transfer of energy from one tropical level from the bottom to the top, okay, the bottom there will be lot of amount of energy will be synthesized from one particular tropical level to the another tropical level. When it reaches, a significant amount of energy will be lost, okay, and the final tropical level will reach the very less amount of energy, okay. Here you will be having at least 10,000 number of pounds of phytoplankton, okay, that act as the food for that is the primary producers, then 1,000 pounds and other zooplanktons, okay. So here the first order consumers, then number is again less, second order consumers it becomes 100, then it becomes third order consumers, okay, it becomes 10, and finally it is the 1 pound final consumer, the fourth order consumer. So these are the major role, and it look like a pyramid, and that is known as the ecological pyramid in the aquatic ecosystem. And we are going to discuss the freshwater ecosystem and the brackish water ecosystem and marine water ecosystem for the food chain. And the freshwater ecosystem, as you all know, the main synthesis where the light will be directly penetrated to the bottom of the pond, lake, etc. There most of the organisms are primary producers, okay, and they will be act as the source of the food for the secondary primary consumers, and very that particular level it is traveling, okay. But in the case of a estuary, that is the most productive ecosystem, we have already discussed. The organic nutrient synthesis mainly are from the vegetation and the detritus, okay, and this detritus will be decomposed by the microorganism, and this will be decomposed by the microorganism, and the microorganism produces significant amount of nutrients, and this nutrients produces the microbial protein, and that microbial protein can be act as the food for further other organism like protozoa. And this vegetation and detritus that is consumed by the higher level organism, especially animals, especially crustacean, molluscans, insects larvae, okay, nematodes, polychaetes, okay, and small few fishes, and they consume this primary producers and certain primary consumers, okay, and from the various further tropical level. So here the phytoplanktons and the benthic algae, that is not going to contribute significant amount of food or nutrients in the marine or this brackish water environment. They gives only small contribution. The major contributions are the vegetation and detritus, and they act as the food for the next tropical level. And in the case of ocean, the major production of ocean, there is a vast area, vast land, okay, the surface area, the volume, all those things are in the oceanic water. It is very, very high. The photosynthetic reaching the different photic zone also, it is very high. Thus the photosynthetic is the main process in this particular system, okay. The photosynthetic and chemosynthetic organism, they produces a very major role in the case of oceanic layer. And the primary producers, they are, as I said, they are phytoplankton. They are able to derive their own food material by photosynthetic, using sunlight. There are cyanobacteria and blue-green algae and all such kind of organisms. Then they can act as the food for the primary consumers, that is zooplankton, and this zooplankton will be act as the food for the tertiary or high-end, higher level, tropical level. Finally, the decomposers will be playing into a role, and that will be mineralize or decompose all the complex dead organic matter, and that will be again shifted to the food chain or a food web in the form of energy. Then there are certain excellent examples we can study. One important aspects, okay, when you are going from the top to bottom, the condition of the ocean, in terms of temperature and in terms of pressure, salinity, all those things are changing. We are already discussed that. And there are certain regions, especially the microorganism very near to the hot water vents, okay, in ocean floor, that provide the food for higher aquatic animals. Okay, and especially the deep sea hot spring called hydrothermal vent, and the hydrothermal vent, it is produced, there is so much of stuff that we will be discussing in the next slide. Okay, and this hydrothermal, due to the production of hydrothermal vent, that is actually the end product is a sprayed superheated water containing sulfur dioxide and similar type of component, and the water temperature in the hydrothermal vent is approximately 350 degrees centigrade. Okay, that particular area, and the water temperature in the surrounding region approximately 10 to 20 degrees centigrade. And certain bacteria that they are able to survive in this particular area, and that utilizes the hydrogen sulfide and similar type of component that is obtained from a hydrothermal vent, and they oxidizes and produce the energy, so that this organism produce the nutritional requirement for the animals and other higher end organisms. They are surviving that particular habitat. Okay, especially the sulfur oxidizing bacteria, that is commonly they can oxidize the sulfur from the hydrogen sulfide, and they will be able to produce the energy. Okay, and this desulfovibrio and similar type of some archaeobacteria, okay, all such a kind of organism, they will be able to produce this particular energy, and that can be supplied to the next tropical level. And this is what I have told. Here you can see this is a photograph of hydrothermal vent, the bottom floor of the ocean. There you can see, okay, with a high amount of pressure, there you will be able to see a fume like a dark fume like things are coming from the earth innermost component. Here this is the mantle words, and approximately the temperature, this particular, the high temperature, okay, reaction zone, that is magma, okay, and the temperature approximately 1200 degrees centigrade, very high temperature, okay, and they will be moving the evolved seawater, they will be due to this counter current mechanism, and what will happen, this will be going to the top, and they will be reaching to the 350 degrees centigrade and focusing, and then produce as a focused vending, and that has a dark smoke like you can see here. Okay, and that smoke consisting of carbon dioxide, especially sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, methane, then ferrous oxides, okay, ferrous hydroxide, and Mn2 plus ions, and all those areas. Okay, this particular area, they will be having high temperature, but the microorganisms surrounded very near to this particular area, 20 to 30 degrees centigrade, or cold region, or even 2 degrees centigrade, they will be able to utilize this hydrogen sulfide that is coming out from the hydrothermal vent. Okay, and they will be able to utilize and oxidize this sulfur, and they will be able to produce the energy, and that can be supplied to the other organism that is already residing in this particular region. And the another important aspect, the role of microorganism, is the fertility of the soil, the fertility of the ocean. Okay, the fertility of the ocean mainly depending upon the presence of microbial flora in the ocean. Okay, so here the fertility of the ocean, the term fertility in the case of ocean is the capacity of an ocean for the production of high content organic matter. Okay, the oceans, that is known as oceans productivity, or productivity of ocean. Okay, and there mainly that kind of aspect is mainly coming from the marine plankton, the phytoplankton, okay, and sometimes the zooplankton also. And these zygoplanktons and zooplankton, the planktonic populations, are commonly known as the pasture of the sea, because they provide the food for the higher tropical level organism that is residing in that particular habitat. So the terrestrial ecosystem generally produces 1 to 10 gram of dry organic matter per square per day. Okay, and in the case of terrestrial ecosystem, but in the case of a deep ocean, the production limit, okay, that is compared to this particular range, it is very less, 0.5 gram per organic matter per square per day they will be able to produce. Okay, and among the universe, it is studied that, it is identified that it is Antarctic Ocean is the richest in life than the other ocean. Okay, they have the richest life forms. Okay, and here another important thing, the fertility of the ocean, that is happening, the mixing of the ocean from various various continents. Okay, so that means to say you have seen the Atlantic Ocean, that is the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean. The mixing of the water will takes place and it travels across the globe, and that produces a high amount of nutrients and supply and mixing of the nutrients from one ocean layer to the other ocean layer. And the fertility of the ocean is another important aspect, is the mixing of water, is the movement of the nutrient from the bottom part to the top part due to the current of the cold water. Okay, and due to the migration from the bottom deposit. Okay, bottom part deposit from the bottom region to the top region. Okay, and when it is shifting, that shift will lead to the the transfer of nutrients from the bottom to the top. Okay, so this abundant nutrients in the upper, once the bottom layer it is transferred to the top, then what will happen, the upper layer will be having lot of nutrients, and that will be benefited for the phytoplankton, and that will be in terms leads to the large number increase of the primary consumers, such as red shrimp like crustacean. Here you can see the picture, the red shrimp like crustaceans, okay, something exactly like a prawn, small prawn, that is known as a Euphausia superba. Okay, that is known as krill. Okay, and this krill will be massively multiplied in the water bodies, and that is acting as the food for many organisms. Okay, such as fishes, penguins, seabirds, and seals, and whales. Okay, so that contribute a lot of the fertility and productivity of the nutrition component of the ocean. This is one important example. And another important thing is that I told you, the migration of nutrients from the bottom floor, the bottom part of the sea where the benthos populations are there, from that will be transported to the top. Okay, and then due to this particular process, the mixing of water will be taking place. Okay, along with the bottom part, along with the nutrients, the microorganisms are also traveled from the bottom to the top. Okay, and the microbial population is affected by the mixing phenomenon and flow of nutrient, and this mixing phenomenon, the transport of the water from the bottom along with the microbial content and the nutrient that enrich the nutritional component on the top surface of the water, and this process is known as upwelling of ocean. Okay, upwelling. Okay, that means that water rises from the bottom to the top or surface due to the change in the direction of offshore current or wind. Okay, this is happening due to the offshore. So what will happen, all the nutrients, all the material that is present at the bottom, due to the direction of this particular flow, it will transport to the top. Okay, so then the bottom water carries rich supply of the nutrients and microorganisms, and this upwelling of ocean is very common in several places in the universe, in the world, that is the coastal region of California and in Brazil. Okay, the coastal region of Peru. Okay, all those places it is commonly present. Okay, so this is an important example. Okay, so of the most important aspects of the fertility of the soil. So this is what I have told, the upwelling of ocean. Okay, here you can see the bottom part. Okay, and the bottom part, and the bottom, so many this organisms are there, the benthos, all this nutritional components from the bottom due to the current. Okay, here you can see this the directions. Okay, and it will going like that, and it will be coming, and it will be mixing everything, and it will be in the direction it will come into the top. So along with this one, what will happen, this is the picture which is obtained commonly from California. Okay, the seashore, and commonly you can see this is it is mixing to the all the nutrients. Okay, that is known as upwelling of water bodies, upwelling of oceans. Okay, and here, as I said, here you can see this is the globe, okay. Throughout most of the parts are the water system. Here you can see the Pacific Ocean. This is the North and the South Atlantic Ocean. Here we will be having the Indian Ocean, okay, and this is the part, okay, I mean Pacific Ocean. So during what will happen, here you can see the shade, okay, the water bodies are mixing, okay, the nutrients are mixing throughout the water bodies from one region to another region through the now the current direction, and there will be mixing of the nutrients from various, I mean, oceans, and that will be reaching, that will be that will transport the nutrient from one location of the world to the next location of the world, okay. The microbial flora, the nutrients, and the population also will be changed constantly, okay. This is the, I mean, a common example that we can here we can see, okay. And another important thing, this sometimes this current are known as gyres, okay. These gyres are large spiraling surface current, large spiraling surface current in the ocean that collect and retain the nutrients, waste materials, and microorganisms, okay. That is known as the main gyres, okay. And the upwelling of the ocean is mainly due to the presence of gyres, okay. So that is another important aspect. So that carries, so that is actually, there is a spiral surface current, okay, as you can see the picture, okay. So this is all about the upwelling of a ocean. So this is thus we are going to conclude today's class. What are the role of microorganism in the aquatic ecosystem? The aquatic ecosystem, the microorganisms are having the constant interaction like a soil microbe interaction, okay, and this maintain the food chain and food web in the aquatic ecosystem, and then it is act as a transfer of the energy from one tropical level to another tropical level, okay. Significant loss of energy is happening, that is known as the ecological pyramid, okay. And we have discussed the food chain in the case of a freshwater ecosystem, the food chain in the case of estuaries, and the food chain in the case of ocean. And another important aspect, the role of microorganism, there are places like the region like hydrothermal vent, there are microorganisms, they can survive, and that microorganism can be degrade the or utilize or oxidize the sulfur dioxide, okay, hydrogen sulfide, methane, all those things, and they can supply the food for nearby organisms. And the fertility of the ocean, the productivity of ocean is mainly depending upon the presence of microorganism, okay. And we have discussed already the mixing phenomenon. What do you mean by upwelling of ocean? How the water aquatic system in the universe, okay, across the universe, how it is changing, okay. This countercurrent mechanism, and they will be transferring all over the water from the water and the species, the most important microbial flora and other ingredients, other substances across the world through this particular upwelling process, okay. So this is all about so these are the major textbook, okay. Mainly you can see the principles of microbiology, concepts and application, this textbook, okay. So they clearly mentioned all those things. Similarly Prescott, okay, and Black and Tortora also you can refer, okay. So this is what I have told. Here you can see this is hydrothermal vent, okay, the bottom of the ocean, okay. So many years and years, very hot spring region. Below this particular region there is a huge amount of magma, and that is an appropriate condition that will be with a lot of pressure that will be released as a volcano, okay, and that will be coming to the top, and that will be from that particular thing there will be lot of fumes will be dark fumes will be generating, that consisting a lot of hydrogen sulfide, methane, okay, and other gases, okay, that can be act as microorganism. They supply the utilize that things, and they supply the food for the nearby organism. So I think this is what the main concept of the role of microorganism in the aquatic ecosystem. So thank you for listening, okay, thank you for watching. If you are having any clarification, you can mail me, or you can call me, or you can post the comment, okay. So have a great day.